Welcome to this IELTS Listening Practice Test, brought to you by Spinta, your partner in English exam success. This test simulates the real IELTS listening experience with authentic question types, timing, and difficulty levels you'll encounter on exam day. You'll hear the audio only once, just like in the actual test, so stay focused and keep your pencil ready. Remember to read the questions carefully during the preparation time and transfer your answers accurately. This practice will help you build confidence, improve your listening skills, and familiarize yourself with the IELTS format.
Part 1. Now look at Part 1. You will hear a man telephoning a tool hire shop. You will now have some time to look at the questions.
Good morning, Hire-it-all, Grace speaking. How can I help you?
Hello there. I'm hoping to hire some equipment for this coming weekend.
Certainly. We can help with that. Could I take your name first, please?
Yes, it's Oliver Spencer.
Spencer. Okay, Oliver. And what piece of equipment were you looking for?
I need to hire a pressure washer. I've got a big garden cleaning job to do.
A pressure washer. No problem. And what will you be using it for mainly? It helps us recommend the right model.
My main job is cleaning the patio. It hasn't been done for a few years.
In that case, I'd recommend our heavy-duty model. Now, for all our powerful equipment, we do require a security deposit. For the pressure washer, that's 50 pounds.
A 50-pound deposit. I see. And you get that back when you return the machine?
That's right, as long as it's in good condition. And what day would you like to collect it?
This Saturday, if possible.
Saturday morning is fine. Now, just a few more things you'll need to know. When you collect, you will need to bring 2 forms of ID with you, one with a photo and one with your address.
2 forms of ID. Okay. And does the machine come with any attachments?
Yes, for cleaning patios, we provide a special fan nozzle. It's much more effective than the standard one.
A fan nozzle? Great. And when would I need to bring it back?
Our weekend hire runs from Saturday morning until 5 p.m. on the following Monday. That gives you plenty of time.
Return by 5 p.m. on Monday. Perfect. And where exactly is your shop?
We're a little out of town. We're on the Aston Industrial Estate. Do you know it?
The Aston Industrial Estate. Yes, I can find that. One last question. Any safety equipment?
We strongly advise that you wear safety goggles when using the machine. The water spray can be very powerful and can throw up small stones.
Goggles. That's a very good point. I'll make sure I have some. Thank you for your help.
Part 2. Now look at Part 2. You will hear a project manager giving a talk at the launch of a new city bike sharing scheme. You will now have some time to look at the questions.
Good morning everyone, and welcome to the official launch of CityCycle, our new bike sharing scheme. My name is Sarah and I'm the project manager. We are so excited to finally get this project on the road. The main goal of CityCycle is to provide a cheap, healthy, and sustainable way to travel around our city, and in doing so, to reduce traffic congestion in the city center. We want to make cycling the easy choice for short journeys. Now, if you look at the map I've handed out, you can see our network of docking stations. We've tried to place them in the most useful locations. The main docking station, with over 50 bikes, is located right outside the city train station, making it perfect for commuters and visitors. As you walk from the station into the city, you'll find the High Street dock, which is conveniently located right at the entrance to the main shopping center. Our third station is the University dock, which we've placed just outside the main entrance to the city library, as we expect this to be a very popular spot for students. Heading towards the open spaces, you'll find the Park dock, which is on the northern side of the Central Park, right by the children's playground. And finally, for those wanting a more scenic ride, we have the Waterfront dock, which is right on the Riverside Path itself, offering fantastic views. Using the bikes is incredibly simple. The first thing you need to do is download the CityCycle app to your smartphone. Then, when you get to a bike, you just use the app to scan the QR code located on the handlebars, and the bike will automatically unlock. The pricing is designed to be very simple. Your first ride of the day is completely free, to encourage everyone to give it a go. After that, each 30-minute journey costs just £1. Now, a very important point on safety. The most important rule we have is that you must use the designated bike lanes wherever they are available. This is for your own safety, and for the safety of pedestrians. If you find that a bike has a fault, like a flat tire, or a problem with the brakes, please do not ride it. There is a function in the app to report it immediately. This will alert our maintenance team, and it also locks the bike so nobody else can use it until it's fixed. As a special launch offer, while we normally charge a small annual membership fee, we're making the first ride completely free for everyone for the first month. So please, download the app, get out there and enjoy your new way to travel around the city.
Part 3. Now look at Part 3. You will hear two museum studies students, Charlotte and Thomas, discussing their presentation on the repatriation of museum artifacts with their tutor, Dr. Bennett. You will now have some time to look at the questions.
Okay, Charlotte, Thomas. Your presentation plan on the repatriation of museum artifacts. It's a complex and controversial topic. How did you find it to begin with?
It was challenging. The main issue was trying to find a balanced viewpoint. Most of the articles we read were either strongly in favor of returning everything or strongly against it. It was hard to find a neutral academic perspective.
A very astute observation. It's a highly polarized debate. Let's look at your plan. Your introduction. You've set out the topic, but it's not entirely clear what your specific argument is. You need to make the main argument clearer, right from the start.
A clearer thesis. Okay. Then we have a section on the historical context, explaining how many museums acquired these objects. We thought that needed more impact.
Yes, we decided we need to add more visual information here, perhaps some old photographs or maps to show the colonial context more vividly.
Visuals would be very effective. Now, your section on the legal frameworks. You've focused entirely on international law.
We felt that was the most important aspect.
It is, but your presentation is one-sided. To make it more balanced, you need to focus on a different perspective as well. You should also discuss the legal position of the museums themselves. What national laws prevent them from deaccessioning objects?
That's a good point. We need the other side of the argument. Then, for our case study, we were going to look at several different examples.
I think that's too ambitious for a short presentation. It would be better to use a more specific case study. Focus on one famous example and explore it in depth.
And our conclusion, it just summarizes our points. We realized it was a bit flat.
It is. A good conclusion should look forward. You should add a section on future solutions. What are the new models of collaboration being developed between museums?
Future solutions. That's great. So, Charlotte, what was the most interesting point you discovered? For me, it was how the word repatriation itself oversimplifies a complex issue. It assumes there's a single, clear home for an object to return to, but often, modern national borders don't reflect ancient cultural landscapes.
A very sophisticated point. And you said your section on legal frameworks was one-sided. As I said, you need to include the museum's perspective.
Yes, so we will research the national laws in places like the UK and France that govern the collections.
Excellent. And for the case study, you're going to narrow it down.
Yes, instead of several examples, we've decided to focus just on the case of the Benin bronzes, as it involves multiple museums and countries and is a very current topic.
A perfect choice. It encapsulates all the key issues. So what is your absolute first task now?
I think we need to go back to the very beginning and draft a single, focused research question that will guide our entire presentation. Once we have that, everything else will fall into place.
Precisely. Your research question is your foundation. Start there. Well done.
Part 4. Now look at Part 4. You will hear a lecture on the ecological concept of keystone species. You will now have some time to look at the questions.
Good morning. In today's ecology lecture, we are going to discuss a fascinating and critically important concept, the keystone species. The term was coined in the 1960s by the zoologist Robert T. Payne. A keystone species is a species which has a disproportionate effect on its natural environment relative to its abundance. In other words, while it may not be the most common species, its presence is crucial to the health and stability of its entire habitat. The removal of a keystone species from an environment can trigger what's known as a trophic cascade, a chain reaction of effects that can lead to a dramatic decline in biodiversity, and in some cases, the complete collapse of an ecosystem. Therefore, understanding the role of keystone species helps ecologists to understand the complex structure of biological communities. Let's look at a classic example to illustrate this. The sea otter, found on the Pacific coast of North America, is a keystone predator. Sea otters eat sea urchins. Sea urchins, in turn, feed on kelp. In areas where sea otters were hunted to near extinction, the sea urchin populations exploded. These armies of urchins then grazed through the vast underwater kelp forests, creating what are known as urchin barrens, desolate underwater landscapes with very little life. By keeping the urchin numbers in check, the sea otters protect the kelp forests, which in turn provide a vital habitat for hundreds of other species, from fish to seals. The otter's role is therefore crucial. Now, predators are not the only type of keystone species. Another category is the ecosystem engineer. These are organisms that create, modify or maintain habitats. The beaver is a perfect example. By building dams, beavers transform landscapes. They create new wetlands, which provide habitats for a huge range of species, from dragonflies and frogs to waterbirds. Their work slows down rivers, which can help to reduce flooding downstream, and also improves water quality. Identifying keystone species has become a central focus of modern conservation. Instead of trying to protect every single species in a habitat, which can be impossible, focusing conservation efforts on a single keystone species can be a very efficient way to protect an entire ecosystem. The reintroduction of wolves to Yellowstone National Park, which we'll discuss next week, is a prime example of this approach in action. In conclusion, the concept of the keystone species is a powerful reminder of the intricate web of life. It demonstrates that every species, no matter its size or apparent importance, can have a critical role to play in the health and stability of our planet's ecosystems.
And pencils down. You've survived another IELTS listening marathon. If your brain feels like it just ran a mental obstacle course, congratulations. That means you're doing it right. Want to torture yourself with more tests? We mean enhance your skills? Head to Spinta.org. That's SPINTA.org, where we've got reading, writing, speaking practice, and vocabulary games that are actually fun. Yes, fun and IELTS in the same sentence. We're rebels like that. Thanks for listening with Spinta. Now go treat yourself to something nice. You've earned it. Spinta, push forward, achieve more.